So that's going to be quite exciting to get into that space and going around teaching Africans how to get involved. Because I mean, in countries like Zimbabwe, where you've got this crisis, currently a lot of people use Bitcoin there to transact. And I mean, them getting involved and the value increasing, we're raising up that market. And it's such a great thing to get involved because the technology behind it is so secure, unhackable. It's something that we understand. It's demand and supply. It's not based on a president saying something and the value of your pension going down. No, it's actually based on demand and supply from the people within the market. So you, as a participant or as someone who owns Bitcoin, actually participates in determining the value and not a prime minister who's gone rogue or whatever.
My next question was going to be for you, Mpho, and say, okay, I can see Kanti and like why he's skeptical, and you know, it's basically, I think here we're sitting and we're discussing whether the world is flat or is it round, right? Because these discussions happened on a ship somewhere with Galileo Galilei, and they were like, "Hi, Christopher Columbus," you know what I'm saying? So maybe this is it. But what can you equate it to? Like, say to me, Anle, remember when people said this, and look where we are now. Give me an example like that, because I think I'm leaning toward Kanti's side. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You know what happened? In the 90s, when the internet first came on, people said, this is for gangsters. This is for criminals. We don't understand this thing. What is this thing? And as time goes on, today here we sit, everybody uses the internet. And I'd like to equate Bitcoin to that specifically as the internet of money, the digital currency. That when it's starting, you've got a lot of people saying, guys, we're not sure about this. We don't know what this is. The same way you had people saying that about the internet when it actually started. You had people saying the internet is not going to last. How is it going to penetrate the whole entire world? And today, everywhere you go, there's internet. So that's what's currently happening. People are not well educated about cryptocurrencies. And because of that, they're unable to make an informed decision. If you had to explain to someone that cryptocurrencies could solve issues like a currency collapsing in Zimbabwe, you know, then people start saying, okay, then we want to listen. If you had to explain to someone that blockchain could stop corruption, then people say, okay, we want to listen. But it takes a bit of time for people to get it, understand it, and evolve with it. But those that get in early will always benefit from the technology.
You wrote a book, you know, why should people trust you on the topic?
I think that's very interesting. Somebody once called me the professor of Bitcoin, and I said to him, there is no professor of Bitcoin. And I think what's very interesting and what I've found about the cryptocurrency world is that it's very much a new world. And I think like with anything, when everything is new, what usually happens is in every new sort of industry, you need leaders in that industry. And I think it's very interesting that when I wrote my book, I didn't just write the book because I wanted the book. I wrote the book because so many people were asking me, what is this? How does it work? You know? And I believe that I wrote the book to share knowledge with people on what it is. And the more knowledge I shared, the more people wanted to know, you know, what is going on? What's Ethereum? What's the next one? What's the next step from there? And I think what's very, very important, and I like that Marius has already touched on it, is that when you get into a new industry, like any other industry, it's very important to read up and get the knowledge on the industry. And that's what I did, you know, when it first started, when I first heard about it, I got so much information, and then I was able to then write articles, etc. But I think everybody out there needs to know about cryptocurrencies, what they are, how they work, and personalize the information for themselves, because I believe that that's the world that we're going into. And the worst thing we want to see is, you know, a world where people don't know where the world is going and they can't actually participate and engage. So I think it's very important that each person understands it. That's why I wrote the book, to try and inform as many people as possible.
It flows very nicely that we're now going to have a presentation from Mpho, which is specifically covering what South Africa is doing in terms of blockchain and the Presidential Commission around the 4IR. So if you can please welcome up Mpho on the stage, and he's going to share some thoughts on that. Thank you.
How about we put a blockchain system to fix our minerals in South Africa? But not only fix our minerals, attract capital, keep a record that will actually prove to the rest of the world that we're not corrupt when it comes to minerals, and open up the market to not only the sophisticated JSE shareholder, but to anybody who can buy a cryptocurrency coin, to anybody who can plug in to a blockchain system. How about we create a value system where when we look at a mineral like chromium or chrome, which South Africa has reserves of about 70% of the global supply of chrome, we've got as South Africa. How about putting that in a blockchain system and allowing different people from all over the world to plug in? Not only from a capital perspective, but also from a mineral perspective, end-to-end usership on a blockchain system. And these are some of the solutions that we're realizing that if done properly, if implemented properly, if we've got people that can look into it and do it in an efficient way, we can have companies like Tesla plug and play into those systems and we'll be able to boost our economy.
We are also going to focus, yes, on the fourth industrial revolution, get into blockchain in the most meaningful way, the Internet of Things. And they spoke extremely well. What they were saying was both moving, it was engaging, it was touching, very touching. Somebody was watching it online, on stream, overseas, send me a message on my cell phone and say, this is most touching. It was also informative, because I think many of us will have learned a lot from blockchain to cryptocurrency to all those things. Most informative.
Author and amongst various other enterprises, he is developing the first black-owned cryptocurrency platform. He is a highly qualified blockchain expert, yet his passion lies in social issues and the upliftment of African citizens.
My name is Mpho Dagada, and I am the author of the best-selling book, Mr. Bitcoin. I'm a blockchain specialist and have spearheaded the blockchain technology revolution in South Africa and on the African continent. Blockchain technology is an emerging space in the world, with a PwC report saying that 84% of companies in South Africa and globally are looking to implement blockchain technology. Now, for those who may be wondering what is blockchain technology, let me paint this picture for you. In about 10 years' time, my self-driving car will be driving on the road and will ask your self-driving car to give it way so that it may overtake because I'm in a hurry. My self-driving car will be able, after doing that process, to tip your self-driving car by sending it 10 Rand on a blockchain system. This is the world that we're gearing ourselves for. The Internet of Things, powered by blockchain technology. It is very near before us. The world is more interconnected than it's ever been before. Global markets are all looking at making payments simpler and easier to access. They're looking at making machinery communicate with one another for effective produce. South Africa, through the Reserve Bank and many stakeholders, has been very active and progressive within the digital space, having machinery working with artificial intelligence to better our systems. Now, it's no secret that the world becoming more digital is a threat to jobs. And that is why I commend our president, because he has set forth a fourth industrial revolution commission, basically set to assist digital transformation in the country to ensure that the country is able to compete globally and thrive within the digital place. Our president has not taken a back seat when it comes to the digital revolution. He's actually chairing this important commission. We can't ignore the fact that the world is changing. We can't ignore that the biggest companies in the world are now digital companies. Your Facebooks, your Amazons, your Google. We too, as Africans, need to participate, dominate, and rule in these sectors. Together, we move our country forward. Thank you.
The fourth industrial revolution, you are part of this as part of the Presidential Advisory Committee. Why does this make you excited?
I think it makes me very excited because when we look at each and every revolution all around the world, the first revolution, second industrial, third, we realize that the countries that took advantage of that specific industrial revolution, they became the wealthiest and the most powerful companies. For example, the third industrial revolution is founded on the internet. If we look at America, the reason they're so wealthy and powerful is because they've got companies that took advantage of the internet, Google, Facebook, etc. So when we looked in government, we said that we need to position South Africa as a strong country with the fourth industrial revolution, because any country that took advantage of any revolution became strong and powerful. So that's why we're very excited about it, because it's a way of allowing Africa to finally catch up where all other countries are. And that's why we're very excited to see tech companies come into South Africa, growing in South Africa, like Luna and many different others, that are actually making an impact. Because what we look for in Africa is we want to bridge the gap. We're aware that there is a gap in technology. We're aware that we've got problems where, a lot of people are not connected to the internet and don't even know what this is. And we're trying to bridge that gap. But not only bridge that gap, we want to do well and excel. We want great startups to come out of Africa that take over the rest of the world, like your Facebooks, like your Google, etc.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mpho Dagada, and I am the best-selling author of the book called Mr. Bitcoin, How I Became a Millionaire at 21. I also happen to be a commissioner of the 4th Industrial Revolution in the South African presidency. I have noticed a very scary surge of impersonators on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. People going out there and portraying themselves as me when they are not me. In this 4th Industrial Revolution, it is very easy to get scammed. It is very easy to get convinced that you are talking to the right person through a social media message when in fact you are talking to a scammer. I want to advise you, but not only advise you, I want to show you the legitimate platforms that you are able to reach me. Number 1, my website, www.mphodagada.com or mpod.com. Once you're on my website, subscribe to my newsletter where I give out timeless information every single week on my journey, on insights, and the next events that I will be doing. Number 2, Facebook. On Facebook, I am verified. That means you will see a blue tick at the top of my name on Facebook. If it does not have a blue tick, it is not me. Kindly note. On Instagram, my Instagram has 4 underscores. It is my name, Mpho Dagada, with 4 underscores. Kindly note, if it does not have 4 underscores, it is not me. On Twitter, I am simply Mpho Dagada, and on LinkedIn, I'm Mpho Dagada. On YouTube as well, it's the same thing, Mpho Dagada. These images that we showed you on the videos show you exactly how my profile looks like and the number of followers that I currently have. Please note, if you are following anybody else with my name or impersonating me on social media, do not just be there and do nothing about it. Assist me in making sure that these people's accounts are taken down. Report the account immediately and unfollow the account as well. Ladies and gentlemen, one important thing that I would like all of you to do is on the platforms that you follow me on, turn on notifications so that when I post, you are the first to see what I am posting. As most of you know, I usually post about my events, Zoom webinars, where we are educating and assisting people in understanding these technological advancements. I want to lastly thank you for engaging with me on social media, liking my posts, and assisting me through sharing the information that I share in educating the nation about the 4th Industrial Revolution and changing people's lives through the knowledge of the 4th Industrial Revolution. Thank you very much.